Let me say hi, Mr. John.
Hey, Mr.
That's
John.
right.
Hi, guys.
You're muted, remember? It was a trick question. How'd you make?
Oh,
So speaking of arms, today we are going to work some parry blocks because that's something that you can do at home and you can do it in the mirror and practice your technique to get it very perfect.
And your name doesn't have to be Perry.
No, your name doesn't have to be parry, nor does it have to be block. So with that, we're going to try some standing parry blocks where we don't move, but we just work the technique. So Mr. Fry, you want to walk us through that?
All right. So for a Perry block, and we'll be introducing some
Mute
movement later
your
on.
volumes.
We're going to block towards the center. So we're going to pretend that someone is punching us. And if I was standing in front of Mrs. Fry and I threw my right punch, then she would do the parry block for that side, right? And it would be going inside. So in that instance, okay, so my pretend partner punches, I parry, and it comes right across, and you want to use your whole arm. You don't want to try to catch it with your hand, okay? You're going to use your whole arm, and then this hand comes underneath and blocks, okay? Ooh, does this look familiar? Does this look like Judo, right?
Oh, Judo.
Okay. So let's do that. Let's do a little exercise. So if it works for one side, it works for the other side. I come and parry on the left side, and I block on this side. Ooh, look familiar? I could also turn this over. All right. So we'll do a blocking drill, the parry block.
Everybody's
Sound
up?
good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to start with one side. So for us, we're going to start towards the mirrors, in our case, the mirrors, okay? So we come in parry, and then we come underneath and block, okay? Parry and block. Parry, wait, parry, sorry.
Sorry.
Rewind, sorry.
Sorry.
Rewind. Okay,
Okay,
my
rewind.
head's getting cut off. Okay, so I'm going to parry, and then I block. Parry going across the body, and block with the hand that's closest to the hand that's striking us. Okay? Parry, block, parry, block, parry, block, parry, block, parry, block. Okay? Now we're going to go to the other side. Works on one side, works on the other side. Okay? So we're going to parry and block, parry and block, parry and block. All right, I think they're probably
They've got that?
got that. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's move on.
Yes, sir.
All right, what's the next step, Ms. Frank?
So now we're going to do some footwork. Okay, so parry and blocking is pretty good. If you move your head out of the way, it's not too bad. But we need to move our feet so that we can get closer to our partner so we can do some technique afterwards. So in this case, we're going to add a V-step. So I'm just going to work the footwork for now. A V-step, as you know, a V looks like this. So I'm going to go to the diagonally. I'm going to move forward. So I'll just have my hands up and we practice that step and slide. So I'm just going to move forward in the step of a V. Now if I move forward this way, it works on the other side. So I'm going to go to the other diagonal, move forward, and a V. The other side, move forward, and a V. And the other side, move forward, and a V. Okay, John and Mr. Fry and I are going to move back. Did you have something you wanted to say about that?
This isn't really related to the technique that we're doing, but if you notice, and it's kind of a natural thing, when you move in that direction, if I was standing like this with my right hand in front, because my right leg is in front, as I move to the left, I also transition my hands. So my hands go with the feet. I don't know if that makes it any easier or more complicated for you guys, but you always want to keep with your lead foot, you want to keep that your lead hand.
Same hand, same foot?
Yes.
Now the other thing I want to point out too, sometimes when we teach the V-step, we have students that just tend to go from one side to the other side. And that's okay, but again, we want to get a little bit closer to our opponent so that we can do something else afterwards. So remember, a V looks like this, so I want to step forward into the diagonal so that I get out of the way.
So we're doing two things with this.
Yes.
We're getting out of the way, right? So if Mrs. Fry pretends to punch, I'm getting out of the way. If she's gonna punch, I don't want to be on the business end of that punch, right? Mrs. Fry's really tough. She's a great martial artist, and that punch would hurt me. I go, ow, and probably cry, but I'd have to hide it. So I want to move out of the way, okay? So I move out of the way. What else does this do? Think about it. You don't have to say it out loud besides the fact that we can't hear most of you. But when I V-step with her punch, look how much closer I am to her. I close the distance. This is how far I am now. When she punches and I do my V-step, this is how close I am. I can easily do a technique from here. In fact, if I was going to do a V-step, I might step out a little bit further because this might be too close. Unless I wanted to do
Knee strikes, elbow
knee
strike,
strike or a choke or,
Palm strike.
elbow strike.
okay? So there's two things you're doing with that V-step. And like Mrs. Fry was saying, it's like a V. If you guys have something at home, a pillow or a snort, you can put it on the floor in the direction that you're going, okay? So when you do your V-step, you don't do this. Oops, I missed it, okay? I can do this. If it's a pillow, you can set that out as your target. Here I'm using one of our pads. You can set that out as a target, okay? So I want to step towards the pillow. That's my V-step, okay? So it was in that direction. It's not off to the sides. It's at a 45-degree angle.
Used pads on sale today, $15.95.
There we go.
So now we're going to add both things together. So we're going to do the V-step, and when we V-step, so our hands are up, we're going to V-step, and we're going to just parry.
See, that's kind of natural. Remember we were talking about the hand and the foot are being out in front, right? Same hand, same foot. As what Mrs. Fry was saying, as we step out into the V, we're going to parry. Guess which hand that is? That's the lead hand.
Now one thing I want to bring up about the parry is when I'm going to reset, when I V-step and do my parry, I'm not parrying way out here. I'm not trying to throw a ball way far. I'm just doing a slight parry, slight movement of my hand.
Those of you guys that have done sparring with us on Saturdays, we want to keep those small movements. We want to keep it in your center. We want to guard your center. So what Ms. Fry is saying, you're not going way out here. If you extend way out here, you're leaving yourself completely open, okay? The time it takes me to get back to try to block somebody trying to punch me in the side is too long. But if I'm here, all I have to do is small movement again, okay? So small movements, guys.
Okay, so let's do just the parry. So hands up, guard, open hand, self-defense stance. And so now we're going to V-step and parry. Now let's go to the other side. V-step
Oh, sorry.
and parry. And the opposite side, V-step and parry. You should be moving forward with me. V-step and parry. One more time, V-step, parry, and V-step, parry. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and reset this. So now we're going to add the block. So again, it's going to be V-step, parry, hand comes under, opposite hand, and blocks. Okay? Again, small movements. Okay? We'll go to the opposite side. V-step, parry, circle block. Other side, to the diagonal, V-step, parry, circle block. One more time, V-step, parry, and circle block. Now you'll notice we're doing these very slow, but as you get your technique together, you can practice it and speed it up.
Those with you that have been with us for a couple of weeks on these Zoom classes, you'll notice this. That was our hi neighbor. Remember when we were saying hi to our neighbors? This is kind of like a
Wax on, wax off.
hi neighbor. Hi neighbor.
Hi, neighbor. Hi,
Hi
neighbor.
neighbor.
All right. Now, so you've got the V step and the parry, the circle block, so we can actually add a kick onto that. So would you like to?
Front kick, knee strike, whichever one you want.
Okay. Let's do a knee strike.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So as I step out into the V step and I parry, circle block, guess what? If I'm blocking their arm, I can grab their arm, maybe grab their shoulder, and pull them in. Two-way action, pull them in, and knee strike at the same time. Okay? Now going to the opposite. So I'm going to V step, I parry, circle block, grab their shoulders, and knee strike.
Everybody up, do it with us, let's go.
Two motions. V step, parry, circle block, grab their shoulders, and
Hiya!
destroy your enemies.
One more time. V step
V
parry.
step, parry, circle block, grab your shoulders, and two-way action. All right. Whew. Wow, I think we just saved the world. I don't know.
All right.
Let's take a break there. Say thanks, John. Thanks, Mr. John. Thanks, Miss Betty. Go get a quick water break. It's story time with Sensei.
Thanks, guys.